Hello, hello. It's dark and cold in my heart, but warm in my. No, I've said that wrong. Start again. Go back to the other screen. We're going to start this again. Producer, put us back to the other screen. Cool. We're going to come back in now. Go again. Go again. I guess. It's dark and cold in my room, but warm in my heart. We're going in for game 4 at the moment. We've got a new face at the moment. Milo's here. Milo, the analyst. Milo, the anal cyst, as I like to call him. He's back. Apparently, he was a caster back in the day. I don't believe him, but he's here anyway. Hello, sir.
Hello, hello. I was wondering where you were going with the cold and warm. Yeah. No, I was. I don't think I have any bots though. But we're in the draft.
You suspiciously don't have any bots.
I might have somewhere. It was back with like. You don't even know who Serenity Gaming is, do you?
Serenity Gaming.
Yeah.
I don't remember them.
It was an old Danish orc that I used to do casting for back in the day.
You've got like almost like it sounds like a robotic, like bird. Like a robotic hummingbird whenever you talk. It's very strange. Producer, can you?
I have no hummingbirds.
It's like Arnold. It's like the Terminator is in your house.
Oh, he might be.
We should just have to deal with it, I suppose. But Singularity versus Invulnerables. If we want to set some expectations, set some stakes. You know, the cows are on the moon at the moment because the stakes have never been higher. Both teams 2-2 at the moment.
Yeah, the stakes.
A win here puts you in very good standings. I think it's fair to say.
Oh, for sure. If Singularity wins, they are guaranteed top 2. And if Invul wins, they are guaranteed at least a tiebreaker for top 2. So yeah, they both have everything to play for here. And we're seeing what we kind of expected. Like as I know you guys were talking about earlier, there's this weird high prio on misfortune going on in this group.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it again from Singularity with this with the MF prio, and we see what I would say a very nice answer from Invul. Ooh, did they just luck? They just lucked that. They lucked the Shyvana.
They did indeed. Interesting pick there. You can see he's kind of a champion that I would expect. From what I've seen from Softorius, he seems to favour a lot of these like very full cleary kind of. I feel like, no offence, I feel like full clear doesn't really require much creativity, and he's not exactly a great player when it comes to jungle. I think given the fact that he's had to fill in a position here. He's obviously not high elo, doesn't have the competitive pedigree of some of these other players. I think full clear champions is really the way to go. I saw him on Sejuani, I didn't like it. Because I think when you have to deviate and get creative, he just doesn't really have that. It's like watching a 12-year-old play chess. They just don't really have the kind of knowledge of, some of the mid-game kind of finesse and pedigree that you might need.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that he would go for someone like the Shyvana, of course, potentially gives you this idea of being able to flex it to top lane. We have seen her in top lane not that many patches ago. But no, I agree. If you want to go for this full clear, like no reason to go out of your way with this kind of pick. Go for like the standard. Go for your Graves. Go for your Karthus. Go for like these simple.
I think these champions require hands. I think Shyvana's just very basic, isn't it? I think Shyvana is criminally underutilized in competitive, by the way. I don't think it's massively great here. I don't think you want to be early picking it, for example. And I think into what they've just picked, I feel like you get demonstrably out-kited by the Azir, for example. So I don't understand why you'd ever pick it into it. But beyond that, I think this champion definitely underutilized. I don't know if this is the game for it, though. Invulnerables have somehow managed to get themselves Azir and Yuumi, though. So that's definitely something to talk about.
And the horse, for that matter. Like, this is just... Yeah. This is the Yuumi dream game.
Three of the best champions, on red side.
I'm not sure how I feel about the Lucian pick here. I guess there's not many ADs open, and it's not a bad pick. It does allow you to do this aggressive playstyle, which is something I actually kind of want to see Invul go for. With the Singularity team overall, I think a lot of teams have just let them play very passively, let person roam, and just not really punished Spike at all. So I like this Lucian. Try to go aggressive with the Lucian Yuumi here, and then just try and force them off. Again, you have the horse to help you. You have the Azir who should get prio and be able to move. Oh, and there's the Lee Sin. I heard you talk about how you don't like that earlier, which means that looks like the Lee Sin is the jungle, and that requires hands. Do we agree?
Shyvana, yeah. What are they doing? No, I did not want to see a platinum Lee Sin today.
So we have Sartorius on something that requires hands.
I need to do some research on Sartorius.
I think he's actually like a D1 player, but I think he's like a mid lane main. I know he's plat now, but if I remember correctly, back when I talked with him at the last league.
He's like me, he's not really plat.
He's not really plat. Yeah, exactly. Same by the way.
I wonder if I can find his... Does anyone know his solo queue account?
I only know the one that's like public, but I think that one's the one that's plat right now.
Okay.
But no.
Well,
while you look for that, I'll talk about these drafts.
I didn't want to see this guy. I don't want to see this guy on Lee Sin, man. This is.
I'm looking forward to seeing the insect. You know.
I think he's gonna be like what was that guy that the name of that guy that was like gold, but he used to make all these like Lee Sin modes. He's called like Boba Fish or something.
Oh,
Boba J, something like this.
Boba J, it's something like that. Yeah, I don't know his name.
Boba Lee Sin. Boba Kush. Boba Kush, dude. That guy made the best montages.
Are we gonna see those today? You think?
No, I don't think so. We'll have to see though. Is there anything we can do about this? There's a rule they always tell you on production: don't talk about the issues. But for me, that's very difficult for me. Whenever you speak, there's this sort of very robotic sound. It's very interesting. I wonder, because the production have suggested that maybe it's that your microphone is near a coil wire, so when it's getting activated, it's picking up the noise of what's around it. Where is your microphone currently located?
My microphone is a standalone mic on a boom arm.
Okay.
Ooh, that could. Let me check.
In the case, we're gonna let Milo run some technical tests. Have a break, have a Kit Kat is the theme of the day. As our sponsors, Kit Kat. We love Kit Kat. We love all they do for us. The lovely chocolatey goods that they are. It's a standard start from both teams. You can see. I'm not a massive fan of the Lucian Yuumi. I feel like you get that Yuumi. Lucian is not necessarily the champion I would have liked to have seen it paired up with. I feel like it can get abused. Interestingly enough, though, immediately off the bat, Yumi's gone for first strike, Milo.
Wait, yeah. By the way, is it any better?
Yeah, that is much better, actually, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You fixed it.
I did. Nice. Oh, yeah, the first strike Yuumi. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. Like, first strike, yeah, of course you can poke with it, but you're not really going to do any follow-up damage, so you're only going to get what is like the 5 gold for hitting it, and like a little bit of damage with it. Yeah, interesting choice.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the first strike Yuumi, but also in terms of, it's something I've just touched upon. Pairing up with the Lucian. I think when you get it on 3 here, you want to pick an AD on 4 potentially. Is Lucian really the champion you would have looked towards? I feel like there's a lot better pairings with it.
Oh, there's a lot better. I think with the team cup you have, I would have probably looked towards something like the Aphelios. Might not be the most supreme matchup in the lane, but I think it would work really great with the team here. It would also or you could even go like more old school, like hyper carry, like Jinx, Saya, maybe even Kai'Sa here, right? And just go all in with your team when they go in. I feel like Lucian is definitely an interesting pick here. I don't think it's that bad if you're but you have to really hard punish this lane. And I feel like Yumi's just not the support to help you do that, right?
No, for sure. And I feel like it definitely opens up an angle of just, a lot of kill threat in this lane from the MF Leo, and there's so much punish able to be garnered by them. You do have that cleanse to sort of avoid out, but you see it already. They're just getting so heavily bullied away from this wave. Has to literally play on the very outskirts of that E range, lest he face having to burn those summoner cooldowns. Talk to me about jungle so far, because you can see both teams.
I was about to mention jungle. It looks like Sartorius is going for the full clear Lee Sin, which Lee Sin is kind of known for his early game presence and early game strengths.
Oh no.
Is he looking for that? Okay, he's looking for a mid. This is going to be a weird mid lane gank. You're not going to get anything off you. You have no real CC. Yeah, look. You just, hey, I'm in mid lane. I'm out again. That was just him going in, saying hello, bye.
I would like to say that he's now it's 3 minutes and he's down 3 camps.
Yes. That's why you don't go full Kelly Sin, but also first of all, you don't gank mid lane here because you're not gonna catch the SCR level 3. Second of all, you've ganked mid lane every game you've played in the Aurora Cup. People know you're coming in there by now.
Yeah, at least he's gonna be able to get the start for himself. He still does not have the red buff. Slice is here though, level 4. Well, 3
Wait,
camps.
and Pearson's just out helping Sartorius. He clearly needs the help, I guess. Okay.
Here comes the gank from Slice. Flash from Merza. The man from Merseyside. He's going to avoid a potential scramble at the derby.
That's a pretty free getting that flash away. Just now you just need to use that for something, right? You can look for the repeat gank or maybe just get prio and rotate because you really don't want a flashless Ahri rotating with you.
Well, this could be nice here from Slice, actually. Goes for a heavy trade on Pearson. Pearson, any second now, might look for a trade back. Have they spotted it, is the question. Well, they certainly have now. Yeah, certainly now. At least Sartorius is here. Not been spotted out just yet. We'll look potentially for a ward hop into a jump.
He's seen by minions. Sure.
He's been seen.
Yeah, minions spot him.
Oh. Well, the bad day at the office so far for Sartorius.
Yeah, Sartorius... I'm just gonna ask this Piglison. Did anyone actually tell Singularity that winning this kind of means a lot for them? Like, did someone forget to tell them that?
I feel like he's even on camps now somehow. I feel like the kind of the downside of what Slice has just done.
Yeah, how?
Well, I think important to note is that Slice has started his second full clear, whereas Sartorius
is finishing us up his first.
Yeah, he's gonna back now. So he's still down, like, deceptively a lot of tempo, more than you would think.
Well, yeah, but he's also kind of generating tempo now, right? So because he takes the back now, he'll go back, spend some gold, and be able to go out on the map. So once Slice backs, they will kind of lose the tempo until he comes back out, right? And they could definitely try and use this because they have prio on bot. They can try and generate some prio in mid and try and stop around this dragon. We've seen them earlier have been kind of fond of these objectives. Which, of course, you would also expect since it's a playing coach, right? You kind of expect him to at least do some kind of macro calls. But it looks like they won't really use it much. They're just going to go back to the full Kelly Sin.
Indeed. And you would like to see him get some openings, but where are they going to come necessarily? I think it has to come in that bot lane, really. You've got to get some of these summoners. You would have liked to have seen in a previous exchange some of those summoners being burned by the likes of Illusion. Just to kind of be able to repeat and follow up. Now he doesn't really have any angles to play towards. There's no real kind of point of contention for him. And do you play towards that top side? I think you run the risk of potentially running into a heck room and the game being over. I think your vulnerability point, your point of attack, your weak spot has to come in the bot side. And time again, the wave state is not in a good position when he arrives at that juncture.
No, exactly. Also, you're never going to be able really to gank in any other lanes. You don't really have the setup. You need, and like as a Lee Sin, you're rarely going to be the solo setup, especially not before level 6, right? You only really have to set up in bot lane and mid lane. Mid lane's never really going to work out. You're against Nasir, it's going to be way too difficult to work. And as you said yourself, the waves have never really worked in bot lane when he's been there. We do see Slice waiting here as well.
Absolutely. It's going to be Lonar getting engaged on. Sartorius is here for the exchange. Exhaust goes down onto towards Slice here. One more auto will do it. Slice gets taken down for the first blood. Cleanse, from Lonar. E forward will take out Sartorius here. How far can he play towards the limitations? Double kill for Z-Pipe. They can't quite find the turnaround. One more auto from Marcusa. He's going to be today's loser. Unfortunately, Merza's here to pick up that final kill. 3 for 1 in the bot side in favor of Singularity.
Yeah, Singularity definitely played that way better. There's not much to say. They just had better management of targeting. It felt like Invul was kind of all over the place of who to kill. Well, they tried to kill the Leona first, which is an early game Leona. She's too tanky. Meanwhile, it feels like Singularity was just on it. Like, oh, we kill Hecarim, we kill the Lucian, and then we kind of don't really care about the cat because the cat. And we can also see here. We're gonna see here in this replay, if we just focus here, they first go on to this Lucian, but once he backs off, they have a clear calling of who they're focusing.
Yeah, it's very split in response from Invulnerables. You can see there's a second here where you think, wow, he gets this kill. If he can just about find Pearson here, I think maybe he can turn it around, but it's just not the case, is it? Unfortunately.
That is so sad. Had Mercurius jumped out the other way, they might actually have had a chance, but yeah, he jumped out towards the Leona, which meant the Leona will go on to Lucian here.
Indeed. It's a rather important game in terms of the stakes, and although it was not going the way of Singularity in these opening minutes, with the Lee Sin trading so much in terms of camps to try and get something to work and it not, it finally pays dividends. He gets himself 2 assists, kind of opens up the map, takes out Slice there. And although they're looking towards the Rift Herald, it could be a repeat affair in the bot side, or potentially just a look towards this dragon.
Yeah,
I don't mind this for Singularity. I feel like stacking up these dragons is not bad.
No, it's definitely not. Well, you have a Shyvana, of course it's not bad, right? Like, literally, you need your passive block somehow.
Does Shyvana get the bonus stats if she doesn't take them?
I think she just needs her T ally, defeat by her or her allies. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, fair enough then.
So,
in my mind, for some reason, I always assumed that she needed to, like, kill it.
Yeah, I had that thought at some point as well. I think that's why I kind of know it now. Ooh, that's just a clean dive. Nothing much to say. A clean dive going on there. Pearson just getting a great ultimate in with Spike being ready with ult and just, yeah, Donar going faster than he could even arrive, I guess, almost. But yeah, no, we saw the Herald getting picked up by Invul. I'm kind of curious where they wanted to drop it though, because again, you have a lot of prio in top, like you have a lot of prio and fighting potential in top, but is it really that you actually want to get ahead in this game? I think the best bet, of course, will always try and be to drop it mid lane if possible. But you're gonna have a hard time doing that because there's always gonna be the possibility of a roaming Leona, which, of course, a Yuumi is never gonna be able to match that unless you go down and pick her up first, which it's gonna become like a weird rotation that is very obvious to spot.
Indeed. 3-0-1 is the scoreline now for the MF. Z-Pike off to the races very early in this game, picked himself up that Kraken Slayer, and I feel as if he's going to be able to do so much damage. When I look at Invulnerables' team, at least at this juncture, especially with Hecarim, I believe, going towards that Eclipse build, I look at 3 members, potentially a 4th as well. Obviously, Loftician, just by nature of the mid lane role, going to have a few more levels, a bit more resistances in that regard. But I'm looking at 3 members, potentially 4, that he's going to be able to actually blow up, especially with that flash as well. I think Z-Pike in the next couple minutes, around 10 minutes or so, just has a real opportunity to get so aggressive, even like get, you know, right up in the face of some of the enemy team, especially with the low range nature of the Lucian as well.
Yeah, overall, Invul, if we look aside of this here, of course, has a very low range comp, which I think is kind of interesting when you have exactly this Azir pick, because if you're playing a long range comp into an MF, it's not going to be a good time, especially not when you let the MF get this far ahead. But then you have like this Azir who kind of can play this long range, and you have like the Yuumi to kind of sustain you on long range, but there's so much engaged in Singularity, so I feel like you're just gonna have a really bad time as Invul here if you're not gonna be able to get onto this.
It's gonna be the bullet time coming out on towards Lonar. Pearson's gone in deep and fishes the final remnants of that kill. Z-Pike gets one in response, so on towards Slice. Not in response, sorry, it's just 2 straight up kills for Singularity. Lofty is here now. Marcusa trying to chip away. Help Lofty pick up that kill now, but things go from bad to worse for Invulnerables. Proving themselves to be very antithetical to their own name. There has been vulnerabilities found in their gameplay so far. We talked about this Lucian Yuumi. They got that Yuumi early, but the pairing, we questioned it, Milo, and it's not paid off so far.
Yeah, it's not paid off, and it's exactly as we've mentioned earlier. We can also kind of see here, even if they're like somewhat together as they are here, they kind of want 2 very different things, right? Also, just honestly, a great engage from Singularity, as we also saw before. They just know how to pilot this duo right here, and there was actually no real way to punish it here, even though they tried really hard. But no, it doesn't work together. They want 2 very different things. Lucian wants in, he wants to fight, like he wants to blow you up, and he wants out again. Yuumi kind of just wants to have these long, ongoing fights, doesn't want the quick, fast fights. Yuumi wants to be able to sustain, poke, lock you down. They want very opposite things, and we see that kind of clashing here in how they play, and it often ends up meaning Lonar dying.
I agree with you. 28 gold, 21 gold gain. 28 damage, 21 gold gained from the Yuumi first strike. He's Pearson and Softorius though. Softorius has the flash. That's going to be Pearson landing that E. Can they find much more? Oh, it's a lovely flash kick from Softorius. The rumours about his old man hands were vastly over-exaggerated.
At least it looks like he found the hands and screwed them back on.
Got to tighten those screws if he wants to get much more in this game, though. Sips is the man in the mid lane, stopping this Herald. Slice might have bitten off a bit more than he can chew here. Ultimate in from Sips. It's going to be Z-Pike. How much more can he do here? As it looks towards, they might have escaped for now. Softorius so close on the queue.
Yeah, very well defended by Sips, I would say, considering he was the only one to be able to defend here. Cost the ultimate, traded with Slice ultimate, which I think is definitely worth in this scenario here. Overall, I think Singularity is, as we can also see on the scoreline, on the goal and everything, they're having a pretty good grasp of how to play the game right now, but they definitely owe a lot of it to their bot lane at the moment. But we do see that Invul, they still have their opportunities. We see them still, like, here and there find small chances. They just never really seem to really be able to capitalize on them. For example, here, mid, they almost found a chance, but Sips found a way to break it down. They're struggling Invul, and they're really trying to look for these gaps to be able to get some of the gold back that they've lost.
Indeed. The scoreline might tell you a story of continued Singularity dominance. They've been single in opposition and not numbered in the defenses against them. And that would be true, because 7-1 is the scoreline, 3,000 gold or so in the lead as well. Now 2 dragons to prove it. Got themselves that first Herald as well, potentially going to be looking towards the second Herald as well. And the game continues to kind of boom in their favour. But I think one of the strong points of this Invulnerables composition, if they do get online, I think this Hecarim and this Jax with the Yuumi could get scary, but whether or not they get off to the races is, you know, not to, if you're part of the pun, the fact that they do have a Hecarim getting off to the races, but we shall have to see, you know, if the Grand National can commence.
And that is exactly the point. Like, we already see it now. Mercus is already starting to hang out with Slice, kind of forgot all about Lunar. Just having that Yuumi sitting on the Hecarim, trying to make sure they're always together. Because together they do have a really great utility tool with the Hecarim ultimate into the Yuumi ultimate, just really working, like having good synergy there. But you're so far behind right now, you need to just look for the picks. You cannot look for the fights, because unless you get spiked down, you're just not gonna win the fight in any way, because we saw how, well, we can see 5-0 already have that destructive damage and just going straight through you. So yeah, the best thing you could do is having actually Slice and Mercus match up like they've done here, and just kind of try and look for a pick, preferably up in the top lane with the Jax, to try and snowball them all 3 ahead, as you said. Or maybe even if you can get Lofty ahead, like Asir is not a bad champion. Asir is definitely strong, has packs a punch, and if you can get Yuumi onto Asir as well in a proper fight, it can also be very destructive. You've kind of forgotten about Lunar at this point. He's kind of not really relevant.
Indeed. See that Yuumi ult gets burned there. It's just, I don't know, I feel as if I just keep, first of all, I hate AP Yuumi. I think this is like such a useless build.
Oh, for sure.
I think he's like gone, he's doing like Luden's Yuumi. Probably with Q-Max. Can we look at Yuumi? He's probably maxing Q.
Oh, for sure it's the Q-Max, right?
That's the idea with the first strike. He's yeah, we got confirmation from the producers. He's maxing Q. Why do you need to do this? Like, your composition does not lack damage at all. Softorius gets engaged on here. Might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew in regards to the Raptor camp. Slice is going to take it. A smite down from the heavens is going to be removing Softorius from the equation. And he finds a kill for himself. Got that Eclipse as well. I'm not a massive fan of the Eclipse on Hecarim either.
No,
I think on all fronts, Invulnerables really just failing in the shop and in the pre-game.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we see everyone on Invulnerables kind of wanting to be the damage dealer when, as you mentioned, they don't lack the damage, right? They kind of just want the enchanter to make your own damage stronger and your team more tanky, and you kind of want a frontline Hecarim in this game almost. because you have no real frontliner. You kind of just want him to be there to be disruptive for this MF. And with the current build, yeah, he's gonna be a danger to the MF, but again, you don't really have a frontline, so it's all just gonna melt so fast. So no, I agree. They're kind of losing to the shopkeeper, as we used to say. But on the upside, we did just see Invul do exactly what I was talking about. They found a pick, which is exactly what they need to just keep doing right now. They need to. Oh, this is gonna be dangerous.
That's 4-man descending upon this top tier. One teleport comes in from the Azir. Will he get here in time? Zanti's got the stun. He's got the counter strike, but what will be the strike back from Singularity? Will be that top lane turret getting taken down by the Herald. Can they get it in time? Not quite. Sliced off to the side there, taking a lot of damage. They're going to be looking for the counter strike on towards Sips, but it's an engage from Softores. Delivers Zanti into the jaws of the continuity of Singularity. Slice tries to go in, but he can't find too much. Has to ultimate out. Front line is Sips. Find him. Lono has to burn that cleanse. 2 kills are found for the team. But this Singularity, they further bolster their lead. There's now 40 seconds for their penultimate Soul Dragon.
Yeah, that was, I will almost say, a very interesting fight. Ooh, Softores needs to get out of there. That was a very interesting fight because it was actually a really slow one, which you would often expect the team with the sustains in such stuff as Yuumi and the long range and stuff like Azir to win. But it just didn't work out because, again, they just took... Whoa, Slice, you were in the wrong place, and that was a MF with flash. Yeah, Slice just stepping up too far.
I told you, there's a lot of opportunities for Z-Pike to play aggressively with this build now. He's got the Collector as well, barreling towards this Infinity Edge as well. Have a look at this fight here. It was very much the case of just, initially they avoid the dive.
Invul looks good right now. This was very good for them. They stopped the dive. Yeah, they lost the tower, but they stopped the dive, and the Herald didn't go any further. Just got too greedy.
It's a little bit too far forward here. It's a lovely little engage here from Softores, though. You have to say, I had a lot to say about him, but he's been rather impressive this game, just in terms of being able to find these engages here. But it was Yuumi getting caught out here once again. Marcusa's been caught between a rock and a hard place one too many times this game. And Invulnerables, we talked about the kind of nature of their composition is getting their primary carries in the Hecarim and the Jax online. Softores has gone in quite deep here, gets scooped out by the Azir, doesn't get taken out though at the very least, and they did pick up that third dragon while we were in replay. Now, for me, Singularity are at a point where just relax. You've got 4 minutes now, you get that Infernal Dragon, the game is all but secured. You're somewhat worried obviously about Hecarim getting to that that pivotal moment of 3 items. You're somewhat worried about the Jax. But you're not on as destitute as a timer as you may think. I really want to just see them. Don't force anything over in terms of overexertion that might dwindle your chances in terms of getting that dragon. Just play slow, play these waves out properly. Get a vision around the Baron as well. You don't even necessarily need to do much around it. Just make sure they don't do it. Play for the soul.
105 gold gained. Let's go.
It's a lot
from
of gold.
That first strike. It's a lot of gold. It's a little over a pink ward. It's a little over a pink ward. Ooh. This is gonna cost a... That is very dangerous to lose your flash there, and like your Gale Force doesn't matter too much. You're Lucian. I'm generally not a big fan of the Gale Force Lucian.
It's just not really a champion now for the next. Well,
no, but to be
seconds
fair, not to be mean to Lunar, but like I think they kind of gave up on Lucian being a champion a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a point there.
But as you said before, it's definitely at this point it's Singularity's game to lose, right? Only way Invul wins this is if Singularity throws the game.
Indeed.
And they have an 8-0 MF. If they throw this game, they are professional pitchers. That's all I can say to that.
Get themselves a little, what is it, MLB, Major League Baseball?
Exactly. So. And this is a very popular way to do it. Starting Baron.
They found, Lofty just takes so much damage there. You feel as if maybe Softores hadn't used the Q on the Baron previously, he would have been able to find the execution there. Lofty's going to get a little bit of healing up from the Yuumi, but he's gone on towards Hecarim because they're looking to have something to say about this Baron. You can't quite see if they're still on it. I'd imagine they still are. No, they've actually just fully gotten off it.
I think that's a good idea for Singularity.
Yeah, I like the kind of tepid hesitation this game.
they were about to do, like, as we said, they had to throw for Invul to win, right? And the most popular way to throw is just starting Baron when it's not needed. They can just wait 2 more minutes for like Dragon to be about to spawn. Force Invul to make a choice. If they choose Baron, well, you get your soul and the game is still yours. If they choose the Dragon, well, you can spare 1 Dragon and get us a Baron, right? Just wait 2 minutes and let them make your decision for you. You don't need to rush it. We do also they have the pressure bot lane, as we can see right now. Like, there's a Sips very deep in the jungle trying to set up some vision. Pearson getting some vision around this Baron. Like, they have full control of this game. They just need to make sure it's in their tempo. I'm not saying slow down. I'm saying make sure you hold on to the tempo that you want.
Yeah, because if they don't keep if they don't keep their tempo, then they're just gonna get whiplash.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a film reference for people in chat. Not my tempo.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't keep myself together when the producer's laughing in my ear as well because of Dunjake's bad jokes.
Well, you see Hecarim has got 2 items now. The Eclipse and the Black Cleaver. We talked about this build a little bit before. But is it fair to say, I feel like with a build like this, you need 3 items almost to kind of be able to do enough, like to a Z-Pike. I feel like if Hecarim in isolation is to engage on Z-Pike, I feel like Z-Pike just out DPSs it. As we see, Xanti gets engaged on here. Softaurus finds another lovely hook, lovely kick rather. Z-Pike finds the final seconds of damage here. Slice gets absolutely sliced through with no maelstrom whatsoever. Triple kill from Z-Pike. Is able to put the heads of Invulnerables atop a Pike, at least this game. 20 seconds out from the soul. I don't know if I entirely agree with them committing 5 members towards this. I think
no.
Should maybe wait one person. They should maybe wait 1 person to go and do the dragon at least.
Yeah, for sure. Like, they could literally just send one person.
They can have their cake and eat it this game.
They can. They for sure can. But it also looks like they still will, because there's not really any threat to this dragon. Well, yeah, there's Nasir. Whoop-de-hoo. We're not really that scared of him at this point in the game. He should be scary at, like, again, 3 items if he gets there.
He's going to need to get out of there. Curtails his way out of there from an aggressive teleport from Mirza. That is going to mean Infernal Soul and Baron, and the game should be done and dusted at this point.
Oh, for sure. Honestly, I've only seen 1 team lose with an Elder, a Soul, and a Baron. Shout out to Old Absolved in playoffs. And if you do that, then I don't really know. Like, you should really reconsider if you're doing the right thing.
Shout out to Old Absolved. Now X7.
Yep.
Anyone doesn't know that lore?
Yeah, Absolved did that back in LA Esports Series Denmark playoffs.
What lineup was that?
That was the Shakal and Ronan lineup.
Oh no, that's my mid laner now. Not
also, Pearson, who's actually playing in this game, was on that lineup.
Oh no.
So maybe he's starting to get some flashbacks right now. Nah, but the only way you really lose
those are the games that keep you up at night.
They are, for sure.
Everyone's got games
especially
like that.
Because
I've still
that was
got
our
games
playoffs.
Yeah.
Had we won that, we would have been at to the Esports Series, the Masters thing, right? We would have been in the finals and been at Masters. So, well,
yeah, I don't know. I think about games. There's so many. Sometimes I stay up at night and I just think about games. I have to think about this game right now as the fight is enfolded here. Xanti's found an engage onto Z-Pike. They got the engage on towards him, but at what cost would it come? Softaurus found the kick onto 2 here. Merkuza, once again, just not on any of his carries, and did a very good job of finding a creative flank to take out Z-Pike. But if you put all your eggs in that basket, they've still got enough damage on the other side of it to make up the advantages.
They, for sure. It looks like, yeah, as you said, they put all their eggs in that basket, and that basket got destroyed. It should just be Singularity taking home the game now. There shouldn't be much Lofty can do here. The respawn times are about to go up, but even if everyone respawns, you just back off. You've gotten 2 inhibitors, you can just run it through top lane, and the game is over. So it looks like that will be the game plan for Singularity. So now they have pressure.
For what we were anticipating to be a sort of middle of the table clash, I feel like Ricky obviously earlier in the day have cemented themselves as the favourites to go top this group with not very many losses. And this was the engage here, by the way, Slice and Yuumi. You see, once again here, once Hecarim dies here, it's just unfortunate. Not quick enough is Marcusa able to split the targets. Not that it would have made much of a difference, but you feel as if time and time again it is the case that he's just not really getting the most out of this champion. And
no,
for me,
imagine if they picked anything else on that third pick, right? Like something that would have gone great with the Lucian.
I feel like the Lucian is more the issue.
I think the Lucian is the issue, but I think if you want to go an aggressive laner like this, I respect that. But then of course you don't go the Yuumi, you go some other support and you ban the Yuumi.
I think that's maybe fair enough. As Engage comes out here, Zanti's going to be the one who bears the brunt of it at the moment, but Lofty is taking a lot of damage from Sips. One more E will do it, killing spree. He's killed Lonar as well, and the rest of his teammates have perished in the front line as well. So war on 3 fronts, and Singularity wins all of them. They will be winning their 3rd game of the group as well, moving 1 past Invulnerables, setting themselves up for a very good end of the day potentially. And for what was a middle of the table clash, they have absolutely decimated Team Invulnerables.
With that win, we actually do see Singularity locking in top 2, with Nirgi and Invul locking in what's